Could this be the perfect Nifty 50 for the Z mount system? Well, that's what we're going to be taking a look at in this video. Stick around, because I'm going to show you a few little tricks on how you can get the most out of this little beauty. Great to have you guys back once again. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a great 50mm lens that I have just received. This is the TTArtisan 50mm f2. Look at the size of that lens. It is absolutely tiny. So at the time of recording this video, this 50mm f2 from TTArtisan is coming in at $69. I know, $69. That's amazing for a 50mm lens at f2. It really does feel quality in your hand. So you've got to be thinking, is it actually going to be any good? Well, that's what we're going to look at in this video. We're going to take a good look at this lens. I'm going to go out shooting with it. I'm going to show you some examples that I've shot with it. I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually use a manual focusing lens on your Z mount system. It is super easy and it is so much fun. So make sure you stick around towards the end of the video. I'm going to show you how you can use manual lenses on your Z mount system and get sharp images every single time. Now, you might be asking, why a manual lens when we have all these amazing lenses on the market, all the Z mount lenses, and obviously great autofocus in a camera? Well, sometimes it's just nice to have that slow down period. This is what this does. It kind of allows you to slow that whole process down, and it is so much fun. It really is. You'd be surprised actually how much fun it is shooting on a manual focusing lens. So let's cover some of the specs of this lens. So the aperture goes from f2 to f16, and the f2 just gives it a lovely out of focus area on the background. It really does have this soft, buttery, smooth feel to it. It's really, really nice. And sharpness, I've got to say, at f2, wide open, it is sharp in the center. But as you get out further to the edges, it has this kind of distortion to the image, which is a characteristic of this lens. Now, it's not a fault. I'm not looking for faults, I'm looking for characteristics. So it does nice and sharp in the center, but it does have that slight distortion around the edges. Now, you could, if you wish, crop in, get rid of that, but personally speaking, I'm looking for this type of characteristic in a lens, something that kind of distinguishes itself from others. So I quite like that. Not too bad. It does have a little bit of vignetting in, but again, you can get rid of it, no problem at all in post-production. That isn't an issue. And when you're shooting portraits, it does a really good job. So it's got that sharp, soft look to it, sharp in the center. And as you get further out, it kind of gets a little bit softer, which you kind of would expect from a lens of this price. But again, that adds the character to this lens. It does come in a lot of other different mounts as well. I'll put a link down below so you can obviously check that out for your mount. But obviously, just nice bit of glass. Really is a nice, small, pocketable size lens that you can kind of just pick up and go anywhere. Now, this lens does produce chromatic aberration on the edges, shooting wide open. It's to be expected at price point of this lens, but again, that's easily removed in post-production. But just making you guys aware that this will produce that kind of like the older lenses without the coatings on of the modern day lenses. So you will get a little bit of chromatic aberration whilst using this lens, especially wide open. Now, the only thing that I will call a flaw with this lens is the lens flare. Kind of, if you're pointing it not direct to the sun, but it's kind of in the frame, to the edge of the frame, it will kind of bleach your whole image, and you cannot recover that in Lightroom, even with the dehaze tool. So you would actually need a lens hood for this lens. Now, I do believe you can get one. I'll put a link in the description below if you can't actually get one. I think there's one on the website. It is a screw-in one, but I would highly advise using that to try and reduce as much flare as you can coming into this lens, because it will ruin your image and make them kind of unusable. Now, everything I've mentioned about this little Nifty 50 lens are characteristics of this specific lens. Again, I'm not going to call them flaws, I'm going to call them characteristics, because as you've seen from the images, it does produce its own kind of style of image, kind of unique look to the images. It's a no-brainer. If you want clinical sharp glass, go for the Z mount lenses, the Z system lenses, or whatever native glass you're shooting on to your camera. Go for those. They're going to give you the best optimal quality. But if you're looking for lenses which are going to give you a unique look and kind of distinguish your images from others, these type of manual focusing lenses are going to do just that. And I can actually highly recommend this lens. I've had so much fun using the Nifty 50, especially at f2 wide open. I just went out the other day and shot everything at f2 wide open. I was quite happy with the look. I loved the way it looked, and it was just unobtrusive to people. It really was. Obviously putting a 50mm on the 35, the difference is massive. So having that on the lens made a big difference for me walking around town taking my images. And I think you will have as much fun as I did if you do buy this lens, whichever camera you're using. Now, I said at the beginning of the video, I'll show you how easy it is to use manual focusing lenses on your Z mount system, and it is really, really easy. Few things you need to do first though is you need to set up one of your function buttons here to zoom, to magnification. And I've set mine to 200%. If you go into the menu system, we'll go to controls. If you go to custom controls, there you can set the FN buttons to whichever you want. You can see I've actually got mine set to zoom. You just go through the menu system, find the zoom function and set it to that. So what this allows you to do, allows you to compose your image. And as you can see through the viewfinder here, if I compose my image and if I move that red box to where I want to focus on, and then I press the F2 function button or the F1 function button, whichever one you have assigned to zoom, that'll zoom right into the image. I can then just tweak the focus and take my shot even whilst I'm zoomed in. So you're guaranteed to getting sharp images every single time using a manual focusing lens like this. These images here, I've kind of shot through a triple, I think it was a triple reflection through this dirty glass, into another bit of glass, into another bit of glass, and it's created this really cool effect, which I love. I'm going to print them out. They're going to go on my wall. That's kind of around Newcastle area. I've never seen a shot like that before, but I'm kind of really enjoying that type of image. Even the street portraits, as you can see from these images, the guy who was working out on the quayside, images are nice and sharp. You can kind of understand what I mean by that. That soft, sharp look, and just has a fantastic way to render the images and just gives it that nice look and feel. So that is the TTArtisan f2 lens. Great lens. If you're looking for a manual focus lens, I can highly recommend this, and I'll put links in the description below if you want to go and check this out. I'll be back with more reviews of more lenses coming up, so if that's something you want to see, consider subscribing to the channel. And with all that being said, I'm going to go out and have a bit more fun with this lens, so I'll see you guys in the next video. See you then.